I'm not letting 5 bitches dressed like Thomas Jefferson tell me what the black beauty standard should be.
Y'all need to stop letting these biracial and non-black people piss you off. Because ain't no way in hell 2 girls dressed like Tom Sawyer finna tell me what it is to be a black woman.
In the bed right now, and I'm just like, maybe I should get out the bed and go do something off the bed. But I realize if I get off.
Welcome on our final episode for the year 2024. It was really nice knowing about 17,000 plus of you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with this channel, and make sure that you click the subscribe button and you turn your bell notification on, because there's going to be more content in the coming year. There's going to be more conversation to have in the coming year, and I hope 2025 will be full of much more of fun conversation than debate and draft. This episode, we are going to be ending the year 2024 with this conversation a group of biracial women were having about, you already know, about black women. Black women are just so special that there is no way for some people to have a conversation on their page without actually bringing black women into this. This conversation went very far, like very, very far. And these biracial women were basically saying things. Seems like they were praising black women, but on the other hand, if you listen carefully and read in between the lines, we're literally doing the opposite. Like, you cannot be a white passing looking person telling a black woman how to look. This is what the people are saying about their video, and I have put together their clips. And without wasting much time, let's just get right into it and let's hear what these people have to say.
I just wish the black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful. Like, eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way you are. And that's not black girl magic either. Black girl magic is natural. Like, it looks way better.
Yeah. I also think that they've talked themselves into, and they can't talk themselves out of, I think they know that being natural and being with no makeup and all this stuff is beautiful, but they've been told and they've been shown, like, this is beautiful.
They've just been
so
shown
they can't
over
get
and
their,
over.
And they
their
just want
mind
to
off
fit
of
in.
it.
They just want to fit in.
That's true. I mean, that's what everybody's doing, right?
Because even like we've never grown up with wigs. We've never grown up with fake eyelashes. And in our minds, we know natural. We know
We've
it's
always
beautiful.
been natural, right?
We know it's the way to go. But we're still affected by it. We're still like.
And
but am I enough?
imagine if we hadn't grown up this way, how affected we'd be by it. Like if it was our moms doing it, or our sisters, or our best friend at school. Like that would be. How do you even fight that alone?
I'm not listening to 5 girls tell me how to be a black girl when they mama or they daddy or one of their parents had to lay down with the colonizer to give them the look that they look to tell me how to look. Baby, both of my parents are black. Clock it. Let's wrap this shit up before 2025 get here. Thanks.
We all know that the adoption of European beauty standards by black women in America has deep roots in the complex history of slavery, racism, systemic oppression, etc. And this adoption, in many ways, is and was a survival mechanism and a response to a society that dehumanizes and devalues blackness. So if you want to speak on black women's hair and beauty standards, first I'm going to need you to decolonize your mind, especially if you're a biracial woman who has benefited from this system her entire life. Okay? Thank you.
I just wish the black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful. Like, eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way.
Y'all kept tagging me in that video, asking me what do I think about all of this. Quite frankly, I really don't think about anyone who looks like they would have snitched on Harriet Tubman. The lady is literally dressed like she would have snitched on Harriet and them slaves. Another thing is she also identifies as white. When you participate in the erasure of black people unprovoked, as a lot of biracial people with white mothers do, like, you yourself, you excommunicate yourself from the black community and black culture. So why the fuck are you talking about us black women? You identified as a white woman. That's what she said. So why are you speaking on black women? It's weird. And I watched Breaking Amish growing up on TV. Last time I checked, y'all weren't allowed to have technology, like, at all. Y'all had to borrow it from somebody. Yet here y'all are on mics, a phone, a podcast, and light fixtures. Ain't it against, like, y'all's rule book or something? Y'all should be shunned. Shunned as fuck. Bringing this mess to the internet. And I blame they black ass daddy.
So I looked into those black Amish girls, and they're not Amish. They're actually part of a Christian
ministry called Church of God Restoration. It's basically a cult. Honestly, they believe that they have apostles and prophets, and they believe that those people can rewrite scripture, like write new scripture. They also believe that to change systematic racism, that one of their prophets needs to go back in time to fix that. And that the only people that can fix things like that are prophets, because prophets can go back in time. So yeah, at this point, anything that they say about Black women and their hair, I feel like they have a lot more problems that they need to deal with, like getting out of the cult. Like, call your dad, okay? Actually, their dad's in the cult, so I don't know. Somebody help those girls. They're very, very young, so I don't think let's not troll them or anything, but they're in a cult. They're in a very serious cult. They're spewing a lot of crap. They also talked about how, in one of their podcasts, they also talked about how Candace Owen would have been a better president than Kamala Harris. End of story. Honestly, like, they've been brainwashed.
There's a clip of a group of biracial presenting women with interesting braided hair and wearing all black clothing and bomber jacket. I don't know what kind of clothes they have on. People are saying that the most important point to take away is that don't police Black women and how they want to appear. Yeah. Why is no one asking the questions about who are these people? Why are they dressed like that? What kind of hair braiding routine is it? Do you have to have your hair braided and then put it into a bun of some sort? Is that like a requirement to be in whatever group they're in? Like, I have so many questions about who they are and where they came from and why they're all dressed in a uniform. It's all like they're wearing all black clothing and like black collared shirts that are buttoned up to here. Who gives a fuck what they're saying about the way other Black women dress and the fact that they're referring to Black women as if they're not part of the group? Frankly, until I know what group they're a part of, they don't need to be in part of the Black women group. They do look like outsiders. That's why they're talking like that. Who are they and where did they come from?
Right? Because even like we've never grown up with wigs. We've never grown up with fake eyelashes. And in our minds we know natural, we know
we've always been natural, right?
We know it's the way to go. But we're still affected by it. We're still like,
and imagine if we hadn't grown.
This is not an honest conversation. And honestly, the privilege is showing. And if you really care to have healthy discourse about this, as Black women are the center of your conversation, make sure that y'all all don't look the same. Yes, you all don't look the same. And also have people on different sides of the aisle to have that discourse that is needed, because there's a lot of nuance that is missing. First things first, I'm an esthetician and I specialize in corrective skincare. So I focus on acne, pigment, aging, things of that nature. And I say that to say that a lot of people are not just married to the idea of makeup just because they feel like it. Acne is one of the most common skin conditions in the United States of America. It affects 80 million people annually. Excuse me. So the cases that I see, that I deal with, are extremely severe. Acne is painful. It leaves extra pigment. It leaves scarring, indentation. So people are wearing that because it is affecting their confidence. So when we think about natural, for some people dealing with that, which none of you guys have, which I can see, that's a different ball game. And no one, especially you guys, don't have the space nor agency to tell people how to dictate their lives when it comes to dealing with skin conditions. How about melasma? Melasma is a hormonal, it can be sun-induced, it can be immune-induced pigment condition that leaves a dark pigment mask all over your face. Should people just accept that? Again, you guys are projecting your beliefs and your morals on people when you don't even have the full picture. And that, to me, is not fair. And I really want to talk about hair for a second, because this is a conversation that kind of triggers me a little bit. Because there are women, right? There are Black women that do not look like you. They look like me or darker, that have coarser hair texture. The reason why the Crown Act was created, because women with my hair texture, and we wear it in its natural states, we can't even get a job, right? We'll get discriminated. We'll get fired. Hell, in Texas, you can't even wear locks because you may not cross the stage at your high school graduation, or you may get kicked out or expelled. These are present day issues. And if you want to talk about hair loss, I'm going to talk about me for a second because I am dealing with hair loss. And this is the reason why I wear wigs. I wish I could wear my hair in its natural state. And so many of my clients that are under the care of a physician to try to figure out what's going on with their hair. No, it's not traction alopecia from years of wearing wigs and braids and weave. No, a lot of hair loss issues are rooted in hormonal changes or something that's going on that is immune related. So again, when we have these conversations, we have to be honest about what is actually happening and what people are experiencing. But to me, it seems like you guys didn't care about that type of dialogue because you would have made sure that you would have people on opposite sides of the aisle that believe the way that that believe differently from the way that you believe, that dress differently, and also live their lives differently. Yes, I truly believe that makeup should be an accessory, not a necessity. But I also understand and I empathize with people who are experiencing certain issues with their hair and their skin, regardless if they're Black, because a whole lot of white women, a whole lot of Asian women, a whole lot of Hispanic and Latino do the same thing. Do I need to give a history lesson on why we started out wearing wigs? And never mind. The Crown Act was enough. At the end of the day, I need us to do full research and make sure that we're open and large-minded if we're going to have these conversations, and make sure that the people that you're having these conversations with are not parrots, that are not going or you're in an echo chamber where you're just going to hear yourself sound the same and you think that you're automatically right when you are offending a lot of people because of the conditions that they are dealing with, and they're doing the best that they can to cope with it and to make themselves feel better about themselves. So I hope that brought some insight a little bit. But again, I think we need to be a little bit open and large-minded in order to come to an understanding about why other people are doing things differently than you are.
Like these people talk about Black women to get a certain traction to their page. Like at this point, I believe that is what they do because there's no way on every single podcast, you guys, every podcast, even if what they are saying does not have to do with Black women, they are still going to talk about Black women. Like, why exactly do you have to mention Black women? And if you have not lived it, why are you talking about it? If you have not been in that situation, it's so easy to talk outside of the box. It's so easy to talk if you have not existed as this person, as this day. Like, you can talk about it, you can give advice if you're not the one in that situation. Advice is always very smooth and very easy to give. Let me hear what you guys think about what they all said. Like, they are saying like they are literally doing Black women a favor. Like, it's like you guys have forgotten that you're beautiful, and that is not Black girl magic as well. Imagine someone that have not experienced what it feels like to be a full Black woman saying this is not what Black girl magic is. Like, come on. This person said, do you know I have noticed people talk about Black women to get paid because Black women react to give them that engagement. So for them, it is best to talk about them negatively, and that is the money maker for them. This person said, why is this kind of conversation always singled us out? What about white women who color their hair or Asians who have a lot of plastic surgery? I want us to be free. They are never going to free us because then the money stop coming in. This person said, people act like it is a crime for a Black woman to experiment with their hairstyle. It is pathetic. This obsession everyone has with Black women, from their bodies to how they express themselves. Honestly, it is insane and it is exhausting. And this is the reason why, like one of the states said, let's wrap it up before 2025. This is the reason why I'm making this in the last day of 2024, because I don't just leave Black women alone. Whether they choose to wear a wig, if they choose to wear their natural hair out, if they choose to do whatever it is they like to their body, leave Black women alone. Let's see if they are going to follow that mantra for next year. This one said, there is something so disturbing about a court formed by Black men partnered solemnly with white women instructing their biracial daughters to lecture Black women on looks. It is insane. Like, absolutely insane. Let me hear what you guys think about what they said, and let me hear what you think about the stitches. Happy New Year, you guys. I am going to be seeing you guys on the next episode in 2025. Thank you so much for being part of this channel. I really, really, really appreciate you guys.